Hey guys, welcome back or welcome in if you're new here. About a month ago, I posted to my story on Instagram asking for my mutuals to send me their original characters. I chose 4 of them and I'm going to show you my process of making fan art of my friends' lovely creations. I've been working on these throughout January and I'm very excited to share them with you and tell you a bit about the characters. First up, we have Piper by my friend Sierra. Their art account on Instagram is @weepingsheep. This character is part of Sierra's upcoming virtual band project called Outliers, which might be the coolest idea I've ever heard of. If you want to keep up with Outliers, follow @outliers.mp3 on Instagram for lore and updates. Sierra sent me a sketch and some parameters for color, but other than that, I had a lot of freedom with this piece. Because I didn't have exact colors to pull from, I did do a color comp just to test them out and make sure they look good together. Sierra based Piper off of flying foxes and vampire bats, so that was my main inspiration as well. I used this reference in particular for the coloration of Piper. I was also given some direction as far as some of the clothing. The cherry bombs were to be red, like cherries, duh. They also have black boots and a brown or black leather belt. The tank top color was up to me, and I chose a light pink. I literally just lightened the cherry color to achieve this so it felt cohesive. Overall, I'm really happy with how this piece turned out, considering I don't draw anthropomorphic cliche. Oh my god, talking. I don't draw anthropomorphic creatures all that often. I actually had fun with the color comp, which I usually despise doing. I wish the pose was a bit more dynamic, as I kind of have Piper just T-posing at this point, but I think I make up for that in the other 3 fan arts. Next, we have Haruto by my friend Zach. Haruto is one of Zach's main characters in his story. Currently, though, there is no way to access this story, so Zach said to keep it short and sweet. Haruto has seen some shit, but you wouldn't be able to tell because he's a silly, goofy guy. If you like Haruto's character design, by the way, check out Zach's Instagram and attack him this July on Artfight. I used a reference for this pose. This is the reference I use, and I'm actually very proud of how well this came out, particularly because foreshortening and hands are really, really hard for me. But this drawing was super fun. I love the colors in Haruto's design. I also really enjoyed adding all the embellishments and accessories, such as his rings and his band-aids. This is definitely my favorite outcome out of all of the drawings for this video, but as you'll see soon, it was the closest to my comfort zone. Just a silly, goofy, regular dude. Now we have Gentleman Cthulhu, a character from the great mind of my friend Colton. See what I mean about Haruto being closest to my comfort zone? I've never drawn Cthulhu until this, let alone a Cthulhu on a human's body. So to make it easier for me, I drew him a bit sexy, ignore that. Also, once again, I used a reference. Here it is. When asked about the lore of Gentleman Cthulhu, Colton wrote an incredibly well-written response. I could try to say it in my own words, but those words would be worse and less fun. So I'm going to read it directly. You're welcome. Cthulhu is always depicted as infecting the world with madness. Infecting like a virus, starting with one person and spreading slowly. Madness is the idea that you can't trust or control your own thoughts. So it starts as something you see in the corner of your vision. At first, your eyes pass over it, blending in with the suit and ties of everyone else. But wait, was he green? When you look again, he's gone. Slowly, you see him again and again. Each time, different details seem more in focus, and each time he is gone before you actually figure out what you are seeing or not seeing. Nobody else seems to see him, but you distinctly heard his footsteps. His cane hit the pavement. As life gets more and more stressful because you start putting off work and other things, trying to figure out if your eyesight is bad, or the voice you've been hearing is actually there, or the feeling that that dark hallway has someone in it seeps in. Until you start avoiding going outside. You start questioning your food. You are certain you saw him just outside the window, watching you. Is he in your apartment? Yes, that's him sitting there, on your couch. How did he get in? Thank you to Colton for that monologue practice. I didn't mean to get so theatrical, but here we are. Back to the art. Getting the head angle was really hard because, well, not a human head. I'm so used to drawing people that doing anything else is difficult for me. That's why I'm glad I did this. I pushed myself to do these characters justice, not just for myself, but for my friends. Our next and final character is Tyrannus, also known as Terry. My friend Shannyn gave me this reference directly from the character creator from Baldur's Gate 3. I have to admit, I was a tad bit intimidated by Terry. The Baldur's Gate reference was both a blessing and a curse for the same reason: the detail. My style often doesn't work with a ton of detail, so I had to figure out how to simplify, another challenge that I greatly appreciated. As for the lore, Terry was born into a caste system where the weaker dragonborn hatchlings were discarded, and she was a descendant of one of these discarded dragonborns. Her two friends and foster siblings are named Abaddon and Solaris, and they grasp onto each other for dear life and love each other dearly. I need to quote this part of Shannyn's message because it is both silly and so endearing. She loves her chosen family deeply and will not hesitate to cut a bitch for them. Her love language is scheming and plotting. I feel like I simplified Terry the perfect amount while still alluding to detail both in her face and clothing. So, there we are. There we have it. Overall, I'm very happy with how these turned out. I love doing fan art, and now getting to do fan art of my friends' characters, one of the best things. If you have a cool original character, follow me on Instagram and send me a DM with some reference photos and info about them. No guarantee I'll draw them, but I will love looking at them and may be inspired. Okay guys, that's it for this video. If you want more, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitch. I sometimes stream games or art over there. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!